Hi, Taurus. This is your reading for the week of February 2nd, 2026. And of course, it will not be for every Taurus. When I was anticipating doing this, I started getting images flowing into my head, and I realized all of them were banners, celebrations. There was confetti, there was balloons, there were balloons, and it was just this whole air of celebration. And when I zeroed in on it, I realized it wasn't just one banner. It wasn't just happy birthday or congratulations on your retirement. It was also birth announcements, marriage announcements, retirement parties. It was marriage, engagement. It was really all about rites of passage in life, moving from one stage to the next. And that's what I really feel is happening for you, Taurus. I believe, we've been hearing for a while now what a powerful year this was going to be. And very powerful for Taurus in particular in terms of being able to manifest things. And what we've seen as we've been going through the readings is there's been shifts in state of mind, there's been shifts in attitude around work, around worthiness, around pleasure, and being able to really get in touch with feelings. And also, one of the things that's really striking me now as I'm saying this is that a lot of it has been about you being able to use your imagination to go beyond what you've imagined was possible for yourself. So it's not just about using your imagination, because your imagination is a good thing. It's a strong thing. You have the capacity for that because you're very grounded in your physical senses. That tends to make a person more inclined to be able to imagine because there's a feeling quality to it. However, your imagination has sometimes been a little bit limited in terms of where you could imagine yourself going if you hadn't already experienced aspects of it, or if you've had experiences that were contrary to it. It's almost as though in your mind you shut down, looking for other possibilities. But the good news is this, my friends. You've got the cards here telling you it is a new day for you. A lot of you have done the work to get beyond limiting perceptions that you've had of yourself, of who you could be in the world, and that you've done a lot of the work to get back in touch with what were some of the core elements that were still anchored in your mind, that were creating loops and patterns of behavior that tended to bring about the same kind of experience. Now, the same kind of experience is going to be different for this Taurus than for that Taurus. But what you'll notice is this has probably been a time of you being able to really notice your patterns. What you're also being told here is your mind, God, it's so powerful. Taurus, your mind is powerful, like seriously powerful. It's one of the reasons why you are such good manifestors, because there has to be a strong mental component to it connected to a heart component. So what you're being told here is use your mind to stay open to the heart component so that you can use your very strong, intelligent mind to be able to address whatever holds you back and to address whatever echoes from the past are in contradiction with what you would like for the future. Because this is where you get to be able to assess. You might not know what it looks like, what it's going to feel like, what the components are. You know what the feeling is you don't want. And that's all you need to know. What you can say is, I don't have to. I don't have to figure it all out. I don't have to have all the details, because we know, Taurus, you like to know the details. They make you comfortable. But this is saying, this is you getting comfortable with not being familiar with all the details. You may not know what it's going to look like, the components, the details, but you know what it's not going to feel like. So that's your anchor point. Not your anchor point, but that's your reference point. This, whatever this is, it's not that. It's the opposite of that, or it's an increase of that, or it's a diminishing of that. But you can play with it in your mind. It's so important because your mind is what's going to direct your energy. So we really want you to be able to look at whatever is happening around you, and whatever is happening around you, maintain a neutral attitude as much as you can. So don't let things land on you in a way where you take them personally. You can assess and you can move it aside, right? You can let it go by you and choose not to react. You can use your powerful mind to align yourself in a moment of wanting to retort. You can use your powerful mind to continually increase your capacity to move back to center line. Okay, this is one of the things that I was seeing earlier, really literally, as I was playing with the cards with you in mind and asking what was the best thing we could give the bulk of the Taurus people who would listen to this reading. And it was stay in the middle. Stay in the middle, the middle way, the neutral way, the observer way. When you have a tendency to react to something, allow yourself to come back to neutral and observe it. Name the emotion. It's okay. Do that. But understand that you are moving towards a new day. You are moving towards a new vision of your life, a new concept of your future. So when stuff comes up, which it will, and you're going to use your mind to assess and watch it, be as neutral as you can with whatever comes up. And that means also being neutral with your response to what does come up. So if it makes you furious, crazy, sad, allow yourself to name it. Oh, look, there is this. That's all. And step aside from struggling with it. Just let it be what it is. Now, I'm saying that because I was planning on doing 3 cards again, but I feel like it might be a bit longer this time. So what we're saying about this is, oh my God, Taurus, sometimes you struggle in your mind so much, it's like you've got a straitjacket in there. And what they're saying is step away from what is troubling you. And because I've got the neutrality card and the struggle card coming up together, I feel that for some of you, Taurus, there is some mental struggle going on. It comes on top of the mind card right next to neutrality. And so what I feel is that, oh yeah, it's so easy to accidentally go into struggle by virtue of trying to figure things out. That can be, think of it this way, when we're struggling to sort something out without really knowing all of the variables that are involved, without really understanding the motivations behind everything, we can go into this analysis in our mind, which is a struggle. You're struggling with what you think about what might be a fact, but you don't know what it is. You don't know if it is. So you're struggling with your own self at the same time as you're struggling with the event. You're doing it all in your own head. You are doing it. Whatever the stress is, this is where, hello, sweetheart. This is where you get to be able to say, oh, there I go. Look what I'm doing. Okay, well, I'm going to name the emotions. I'm going to name the feeling. I'm going to use my cognitive awareness and my ability for that. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, you know what? How about if I look at this situation in a new light? How about if I take the opportunity to say, I'm not going to judge this based on the history with this person or on my history. Instead, I'm going to look at this and I'm going to say, you know what? I'm going to look at this as though it's brand new and I can be absolutely neutral about what's going on. I have no investment in this. And that is part of how you get out of struggle. Now, I feel it's really important to remind you as I'm saying this, that this is actually all really good. And why is this good? Tell me why you like this for them. This is because this is really ultimately 2 things. This is you finding a way to be able to assess the situation from present time rather than from history, rather than from past. This is you learning how to be able to walk away from a mental pattern of overthinking and analyzing and doing what we call a mind read, not as a medium or as a psychic, but when we are trying to figure out and estimate what somebody else's motivations are or feelings are around a situation, it's easy to think that you know, and that could be because of a misinterpretation of a word or a tone of voice or a look, because we are all just people going through the day, going through stuff. We're not meant to be monitoring ourselves every single day for every single moment. We're meant to be anchored in the highest part of ourselves we can get to at any day, in any moment, and stay there and get back there as often and as frequently as possible. And let that be the guide for us. And there's a whole bunch of messiness in and all around all of that, because that's part of the growth. But what Spirit is really wanting me to let you know, Taurus, is you have the ability to step out of the struggle. Some of you will be surprised that when you just simply decide to stop overthinking, that you can. And sometimes some of you are going to find it necessary to remind yourself repeatedly. And that's going to happen more often when it comes from something that is an echo of an old hurt or a part of yourselves that you have not yet discovered and embraced and transmuted into, let's say, an expanded consciousness. Out of an old wound and an old story into an expanded awareness of who you really are and what your power is in the world. And that's the core right there. That's the core. Okay? Taurus, I'm going to leave you with that. I hope this is helpful. It certainly looks like you folks are really, I won't just say at a point of power, because a point of power makes it sound like you're balancing on the top and you could fall down. You are in a state of power right now. And part of what you're going to be doing, what many of you are going to be doing, is you're going to start feeling yourself change in a way that seems almost surprising. And surprising not just because there's a change, but surprising by virtue of the fact that you're noticing that it's happening, and I didn't know I'd gotten there, kind of a thing, So it's like, oh, look at me. I'm observing me in this position, and this is different than what I would have done before. So there's the awareness of your awareness, which is brilliant and like right up there. So folks, I'm going to leave you with that. I hope this is helpful. I think it's exciting. You are in a state of power. You are in, I will call it an alchemical state, where there are things changing in you at a physical level, at an energetic level, and you're going to see it playing out in your awareness of your mind and your patterns and your choices. And this is supremo powerful. Okay? Take care.